Hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 16 Week 14 Bear Cave. It is rivalry week, folks. We have got a big time college football slate for you guys on Thanksgiving. Thanks for taking your time out of your day to spend it with us. It's a holiday that's really made for the SFA, and hopefully we see a ton of yams today. As always, this is the SFA. It's an online dynasty ran through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You guys can jump in at any time, claim a team, jump into recruiting, and build your way to a bowl game, to a national championship. Today is a massive day because remember, we've expanded to 10 auto bids into the playoff. Each and every conference champion will make their way into the CFP regardless of record. So today we are going to go through every game that matters for a division. Next week will be the conference championships, and we got a 19-game Bear Cave slate for you guys, so it's a long one. There's a lot of chances here for you guys to make your Babanas. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Coach Mills, Coach Phi, Dogwater, Coach Phi. My family about to get pissed at me. Hey, you know what? Everybody's watching football. Why can't you watch the SFA, right? So just a few things to go through before we get on into everything is I'm going to throw up all the scenarios on the screen. It's a little blurry on my end. Hopefully you guys can see it, but I'll be referencing this sheet. This is every scenario, and I'll make sure you guys know exactly what's happening as we go through the games. We did have a couple of big upsets in the sim. We had Minnesota, East Carolina. So a couple of upsets may or may not impact the playoff race. So here we go. Also, guys, I did just get in from Denver early this morning, and I have a cold. So if you guys remember those throwback games from when I had COVID in like 2022, my voice might be off, but that's why. But we're gonna grind through it. We're gonna get it done. And as always, guys, before we get started, check out our friends over at Home Field. They're running their Black Friday sale for like entire week. It's 30% off the entire site, literally the entire site, anything you get. And then you can also use our link to help support us as well. But the best Christmas gift I ever get. So just shout out to them before we get started. Okay. All that's out of the way, so we're going to start in the Mountain West. Now, remember, guys, we are doing a raffle this season, so we're going to give out predictions on every single game, and then you can redeem those at the end of the season to try and get an 80 overall player. So we're going to start in the Mountain West. Now, the important part of the Mountain West today is we're going to start with this New Mexico and UTEP game, as the winner of this, if Wyoming chokes in the next game, the winner of this game would go to the conference championship to face UNLV, a team that did lose this week to Nevada. So Fresno State locked out of the conference championship despite being 9-3 because UNLV beat them head-to-head. So we're going to start in New Mexico and UTEP. Coach Chum Toad, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. For those of you guys in the chat, we're, as always, going to do who covers. New Mexico is on the road. They are a 2.5-point favorite. Remember, this is a big week for you guys to try and gain some ground on Bear Cave as well, because we have pretty much double the slate here today. Remember, you get a 1 minute for each prediction. We got 15 viewers. Thank you guys for joining. Really didn't know how doing this on Thanksgiving would work, but thanks for tuning in, taking time out of your day. We're getting to the exciting part of this Season 16 where things really are going to start to move quicker. Welcome in, Flame. Illinois won. They beat, did they beat Arkansas? Coach Pizza not not excited. Coach Mike Gronstol is here. So, all right, so we're going to get into the first game. So, regardless of who wins this, it's going to be up to the next game to really decide who wins the division. So, I set up every game to where we'll know who will take the spot if the team chokes, right? So, trying to make it as entertaining as possible here today. So we're going to start out with New Mexico and UTEP. A lot of SFA players on this New Mexico team, 4-7. They've had some trouble with injuries. Both their starting quarterback and their starting running back, Rudy Rollins, have been hurt. We do have rain down here in El Paso, home of the Sickos Sun Bowl. And another thing I wanted to mention, guys, if you're cheering, or if you're here and you're sitting on that line for a bowl game, 6-6, 7-5, you are cheering for the good teams to win their divisions. Because remember, anybody who wins a division is guaranteed a bowl game. A couple years ago, we had a 5-7 Air Force make it to a bowl game because they won the division. So you are cheering for the likes of Wyoming, teams that are already kind of those teams that are already kind of at 7 or 8 wins. You want them to win their division so it keeps a spot out, because the majority of 6-6 teams, if not all of them, will not make a bowl game. So we've had years where no 6-6 teams make a bowl game, and then we've had years where maybe 1 or 2 6-6 teams. So if you're right on that line, you're really hoping for these bids not to be stolen. So first quarter here of the final rivalry week, BearCave in New Mexico jumps out to a quick lead. Rudy Rollins is back. UTEP is 5-6. They could get to that bowl eligibility marker. New Mexico can't get to a bowl game without winning the division, and they came to play. New Mexico 31-0 straight to the dome to start us out. 38-45. UTEP getting ran out of their own building. Oh my. UTEP, man, is this a Thanksgiving kind of hangover? I don't know what's going on here, but it's 45-0, and we'll see here the rest of the way. We're just going to sim it out because this is a massive start to the day. So New Mexico, watch out for the Lobos. If Wyoming chokes here, New Mexico could be a tough team. They can still make the playoff, as we see Rudy Rollins makes his way. He was the gem from the season 15 class, 80 overall running back. And as always, we'll go through all the stats. Marquise Brown, former Northwestern transfer, 15 of 29, 246, and 4 touchdowns. Rollins over 100 yards and a touchdown as well. Receiving, C.J. Johnson with the most catches. And on defense, Skip Rosario, 9 tackles. He led the way with TFLs. They had 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. Jordy Schmerda, the SFA player, gets 1. A couple deflections, no forced fumbles. And how did UTEP look here tonight? Looks like their starter might have gone down. They're both 65 overall. This is terrible. A combined 7 for 24 for a nice 43 yards. That is bad. As running the ball, Brady Hendricks led the way. 65 overall as well. How is this team 5-6? Well, nevertheless, they did get run out of their own building here in the rain. So no bowl game for UTEP, no bowl eligibility. And now they both await the winner of Wyoming and Utah State. So as always, I got to get my players of the game here. So they give it to Brady Hendricks, 18 carries for 60 yards. What a great player of the game. So that's a New Mexico cover for those of you guys scoring at home. A big start there for the Lobos. Now they sit and they wait to see what happens with Wyoming, a team that historically, and I got to change my team here, a team that historically chokes away divisions. I think they've done it a ton of times. As you guys know, this Mountain Division has never won a Mountain West championship, so they're really not known or able to win these tight games. But man, this is a 1-10 Utah team. So Coach Wind, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive, as we had 64% of the vote predict New Mexico, as we'll get this one going. And we have Wyoming is the favorite, obviously. They are a 13.5 favorite, one of the bigger favorites we will see today. But remember, every game that decides a division today is on BearCave. So it's a 19-game slate. Then we have Bedlam as our game day. And remember, we also have recruits coming later tonight. Who is going to get the 5-star quarterback, Cleet Peppers? Welcome in, Coach Mango. Yeah, a little bit of time here before the great games. Dogwater already crying, thinking he's going to lose. All right, so I don't see win in chat, so we'll just get started. As always, I'll go with the away team if the user is not here. You didn't ask for special jerseys or anything, I don't think. No, I don't see it. All right, so here we go. It is time. Flame, I am sick. I got a fever, sore throat. If you remember, like there was like 2 or 3 game days in a row in 2020 when I had COVID. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I don't have COVID. I just feel like shit. But we're powering through here today. The people demand yams on Thanksgiving. Will we see any? They got the Puffers here. No snow in Wyoming. So Wyoming, if they win this game, they're going to the Mountain West Championship against UNLV to play for a playoff spot. If they lose, it will be New Mexico that goes and plays UNLV for the Mountain West Championship. So everything on the line here. Remember, there is no changes to the BearCave style. We'll jump in if it's close within the final 2 minutes. War Memorial Stadium. Here we go. Utah State, they're 1-10, but can they ruin Wyoming's season? We've seen it before. Will we see it again? We're going to do either 12 or 14. Not sure quite yet because we're doing all the auto bids. I'm going to wait and see till we're in the committee meeting to see what makes more sense going forward if we decide to keep the auto bids. So, oh my, no, not like this. Come on, Wyoming. First quarter goes to Utah State. I was hoping they just blow them out. Wyoming, please. Okay, they get the lead back. I don't want Wind losing like this. Okay, he has a 14-point lead. Currently covering as we head to the second half. Wyoming, can they punch it home? No, they don't. Utah State, are they going to make this close? The offense is completely falling apart here for Utah State. And Wyoming, they still can't score as they get sacked on 4th down. Remember, we'll only jump in if it's a 2 or if a 1-score game, and it's a 1-score game. So we're going to go play by play. Division on the line. Are they going to give it back? It's 3rd down, and they have to punt. So here comes Utah State, a chance to tie the game. We'll jump in at the 2-minute mark. No, they scored! Utah State just scored! It's 21-21. The Wyoming home crowd is pissing their shorts right now. We'll jump in at that 2-minute mark. Here we go. It's 3rd and 11 for Wyoming. The season on the line. A chance at a playoff. A chance at glory. 3rd and 11 for Chris Neal. It's trips left. Jamie Brown in the backfield. They're going to run some clock here. Interesting strategy. Oh my, this BearCave already getting ridiculous here. Chris Neal, it's going to be a mid-screen. He gets it off, and Ryan McGee can't get it done. The Yams legend, and they're going to have to punt. Oh my God, New Mexico is the biggest Utah State fans you'll ever see. This would be an upset for the ages. Here's the return, and he gets walloped. That's Paulie Pug, the SFA player, 99 speed guy. Got to watch out for him. He is the only player worth a dang on this roster. Can Utah State pull off a miracle? They're going to run a screen to Paulie Pug. There he goes. He turns the corner, and he gets himself about... They're calling it 1 yard. Oh, I thought he was close to the 1st down, but he wasn't. I guess Wyoming has those yellow lines at the 20. That's just a design flaw there, especially for somebody colorblind like me. So 2nd and 9 here, a minute left. Sullivan dumps that off. Oh, it's dropped! Almost intercepted. And remember, you're going to get some bad football here in the Mountain West. It's definitely one of those sloppy games. So 3rd and 9. Division on the line, a bowl game on the line. If you're on that fringe bowl game, you want Wyoming to win. Nick Sullivan, he's scrambling. He just yams it deep, flings it, and it's incomplete. The Yams legend, Birdie Jones, knocks it away. 4th down, Wyoming will get another chance. What a great drive by the defense. So can Coach Wind figure out how to score with 50 seconds left? Or will we get free football here in the West? We get a stiffy. He's across the 50. Birdie Jones, 18 yards. Birdie Jones, one of the best Yams corners. 4 wide, Chris Neal, the quarterback. The former 5-star in-game recruit, non-SFA player, trips left. Ryan McGee, top of your screen. Chris Neal, he has time. He flings it out wide open. That's going to be Taylor Johnson for 3. They just got to get in field goal range, but you got to imagine they don't really have that big of a leg. Chris Neal only 50%, over 300 yards, couple of touchdowns. 4 wide yet again. Looks like Jade Derby might be in instead. Jamie Brown as they hand it off here, and they're going to get themselves a nice gain. But they have to take a timeout. So it looks like no Jamie Brown here. Looks like Jade Derby, the 4-star SFA freshman, is your running back. So Jamie Brown must have gone down with an injury. Chris Neal, they bring a blitz over the middle. Oh, he dropped the interception. Antoine Harris could have won it there for Utah State. Now decision time for Wyoming. It looks like they're going to go for it. Not in field goal range. That is a long yard. Chris Neal in the pistol. They hand it off to Jay Derby. It's a counter. He gets the first down with ease. The drive continues. Or it's Ulysses Dawson. Jay Derby's hurt too? So both of their top running backs, Jamie Brown and Jay Derby, are down. Can Wyoming pull this out? Dumping that off, and it's dropped. So now we understand kind of how Utah State climbed back into this. Injuries to this offense for Wyoming. It's basically Chris Neal, Ryan McGee, and a prayer. They're inside the 35, probably not in field goal range quite yet. Neal, he's hit as he throws. He gets the completion inside the 30. It's Taylor Johnson. He couldn't get out of bounds, so they have to use that second timeout. 16 seconds left. Got to imagine they're starting to get into that field goal range. 16 seconds left. 3rd and 3. Chris Neal. It's 4-man rush. He has time. He steps up in the pocket. He's going to run for it, and he gets it. 10 seconds left. Are they going to run a play? What are they going to do? They're going to hurry it up here, and they're not going to spike it. They're going to run a play. The clock starts ticking. 8 seconds left. Chris Neal, he has to make a play. You got to get down, and he does. Chris Neal might have just sent Wyoming to the conference championship game. And we know Wyoming has lost a division on a field goal before. To win the division, it's a 31-yarder from right hash. Where have we seen this before? The kick, it's up, and it's good! Triple zeros. Wyoming's going to the conference championship and a chance to go to the college football playoff. It was definitely a bit risky there, but it pays off. And when Wyoming survives. Welcome in, Coach Nathan. Tough loss there for Rutgers today, but you're still 6-6. Get to bowl eligibility. Shouldn't be in risk of getting fired. You might have to use a punishment, though. Welcome in, Steve-O. So Chris Neal down his top 2 running backs. They somehow survive. So New Mexico will not be going to a bowl. They will not be winning a division, and no CFP. All ripped from them right there. That's kind of why I like this these conference championship auto bids, because we've got users that have decent teams, that have had like injuries, and they still have a chance even at 4-7 to make the playoff. Ooh, Dogwater, thank you. Dogwater trying to buy wins here today for UTSA, one of the more anticipated games today, coming up here in a couple minutes. But now the Mountain West is complete. Your conference championship game will be Wyoming taking on UNLV with the chance to go to the college football playoff. Coach Wind or Coach Cryo will be a playoff team. Yes, that sounds ridiculous. Two coaches that probably don't deserve it, but they will be there anyways. So this is what it looked like. I mean, that second quarter was amazing. Jamie Brown, but then he goes down. They don't score anything in the second half. And we'll check out the stats here. Nick Sullivan, 15 of 42, 197, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Paulie Pug, 21 for 82, and not much through the air here. On defense, Madsen had 11 tackles, 6 TFLs. This guy went crazy in the middle. Both their DTs had 2 sacks, a lot of deflections, a lot of chances at interceptions. They forced 4 fumbles as well, so the turnovers crippling Wyoming here today. Chris Neal, 22 of 45, 316, and 2 touchdowns. Jamie Brown, he had 20 carries, 105 yards. Jay Derby, he just didn't play, I guess. Maybe Ulysses Dawson is a higher overall. We'll have to see if Jamie Brown is hurt or if they want to change something. Interesting. Or maybe got hurt on like a kickoff return or something. 7 TFLs for Hunter. Pud Foxdale, the SFA player, had 3 and 3 total sacks. Interceptions, they got 1 for Jake Falk and a couple of deflections. No fumbles on the day. It's not pretty on the scoreboard or the scorecard, but it gets it done. Wyoming wins their division. The Mountain West is set. Woo! All right. Also, can somebody let me know if CeeDee Lamb scores touchdown? Thanks. That is, for you guys at home, a Wyoming no cover. So they won, but they could not cover the spread. And 92% of you guys went with the cover. So Utah State fans, there you go. You're welcome. And now I'm very excited for this because not only does the winner of the MAC make it to the college football playoff, but we've got a mini 4-team playoff here in the MAC. The winner of this game, Bowling Green in Ohio, wins the division. The winner of this game, Central Michigan and Eastern Michigan, wins the division. We'll do the Bowling Green, Ohio game first. Coach Howard Black, if you're here, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive. Yes, a Bowling Green at 5-7 could make their way not only to a bowl game, but to the college football playoff. Surely they'd be the last seed, obviously, but you got a mini 4-team playoff going. This is the only one like it today. Welcome in, Howard Black. Just to remind you guys, we just finished the Mountain West. Now we're on to the MAC. We're going to get all the G5 games situated. Then we'll go to the Power 5. And on the right, those are all the scenarios. So, like I said, this is just 2 game results. They will face each other next week on BearCave. So, we got kick for Coach Howard Black. Here we go. And this game, it's a 6.5-point favorite for Ohio. Obviously, this isn't like last season where it was Ohio Mania. They're not ranked or anything, but they still could go to the playoff. They didn't quite make the playoff last year, so we'll see if they can make it this year. So do you have Ohio or are you riding with Bowling Green? 6.5-point underdogs. Get those Bobanos going. Remember, you can get a raffle ticket for a player, 80 overall freshman for next season. So make sure you participate in the polls. Get those Bobanos working. All right, so here we go. The first game in the MAC. Obviously, Ohio is a heavy favorite here. But we'll see. We just saw Utah State put up a fight, and they were a worse underdog. So Ohio has had a couple of issues this year with injuries and just, Nolan Figg's not playing well. So we'll see what they can do. We've not seen Bowling Green hardly at all in SFA history on BearCaves. Maybe once or twice. So this is a very interesting game. We have been to Ohio a couple of times. But as you see there, that conference record's all that matters. The winner of this game will move on. So for a lot of teams, it's only playoff games from here on out. Now, if you are a fringe 7-5, 6-6 team, you are hoping for an Ohio win because an Ohio loss, they're still 6-6 and eligible to go to a bowl game. So you'd have to beat them out via resume, and then you'd have Bowling Green taking a spot away. So you rather just give that spot to Ohio here. And yes, we're hoping to see some yams today. It's Thanksgiving, for crying out loud. So let's get some yams rocking here at Peden Stadium. And it's going to be a kick here for Ohio. They win the toss. There's Nolan Figs, Jamal Dunlap. Here we go. Ohio starts out quickly here, but Bowling Green responds. Very even first quarter. Oh my, this might be a close one. No scoring quite yet here in the second. Can Ohio break it? No, they can't. And no score before halftime. 7-7 here in Ohio. Ohio, though, they get a field goal here. And can they open the scoring? No, they can't capitalize. Yes, they do. They must have gotten a turnover or something. The lead's to 13. Ohio, another big play. They're starting to open it up. Ohio Mania is back, folks. Ohio Mania, they're running away with it. Ohio Mania, baby, on your dome. 34-7 is your final. Ohio will play for a chance at a college football playoff spot next week. And they await their opponent here in a couple of minutes. Tommy Tompkins, SFA player. Omari Dunn, SFA player. Both get touchdowns here. And that is a Ohio cover for those of you guys scoring at home. Nolan Figs goes 16 of 27, 155, and 1 touchdown. Run the ball, 36 carries for Omari Dunn, the former Buffalo Bull, just getting the bulk of the carries. Terry Tompkins gets a couple, and they spread it around pretty evenly. On defense, Joe Brown, 9 tackles. TFLs go to Simpsons and Hubert Wells. 5 total sacks here. Jamal Dunlap, the SFA player. Travis Slaughter gets 1. Deflections and no fumbles. For Bowling Green, you got Matt Fields, 14 of 34, 218 and a touchdown and an interception. They couldn't run the ball hardly at all today. And on defense, 10 tackles for Moyer. TFLs go to Harris. Couple of sacks here or there. No picks. 3 deflections. And 1 fumble that they did not recover. So that will do it. Bowling Green held on for a half of football, but Ohio Mania just pulled away. Love to see these users making it. The only user that hasn't been happy yet on BearCave is Chum Toad, but he won his game. So 5-7, you'll take that, I guess, after having a bunch of injuries. So this is a Ohio cover for those of you guys. Those of you guys scoring at home. And let me pay that out here. 94% of you guys rode with Ohio Mania on that one. As now we'll see who they face. So these matchups starting to come out into focus. Now this is a tough one because all season long, Central Michigan has been favored. Wykill Summers, he's a Heisman candidate, but they're going on the road into Eastern Michigan. Central Michigan has yet to lose a ball game here. So this is CPU versus CPU team. I know Coach Mike Gronstall has heavy ties to Eastern Michigan. So let's get this going. Central Michigan is ranked, so they are probably the only chance for the MAC to get a home game in the playoff. Most likely they'll be going on the road. But are you rocking with CMU, who is a 4.5-point favorite? Or are you rocking with EMU, who is a 4.5-point underdog? Get those predictions going here. Coach Mike's collecting 2 paychecks. That's nasty work, coaching 2 teams. Being Kansas State, ruining people's playoff chances. All right, here we go. The 8th best offense, the 6th best defense. Central Michigan probably has been among, outside of Cincinnati and Coastal and Southern Miss, probably the 4th best group of 5 team this year. We'll see if they can get it done. Winner faces Ohio. Will we have a green-on-green matchup, or will it be the Chips and the Bobcats? A little 4-team MAC playoff. You love to see it. We're on the gray field here tonight. So we'll go heads and kick as always for the away team. Julius Nambo, former Navy defensive end, SFA player at the coin toss for EMU. And here we go. 0-0 to start it out. Remember, Wykel Summers and company, they run that triple option offense very well. As we head to the second quarter, Central Michigan holds the lead. Can they pull away? No. EMU is hanging around. They had to settle for a field goal. 4-point lead for the Chips. Will they return to Mount Pleasant as champions? No. EMU is coming back. Jessica Aspeth, the SFA player. Oh, they take a 10-point lead. This could be a massive upset, folks. As Wykel Summers, the Heisman hopeful, throws a pick, and they're going to score. It's a 16-point game. We're not even get to jump into this game. Remember, we'll jump in at 2 minutes if it's a one-score game, but they're starting to yam it out. And there it is. That's a score. Can they get the two-pointer? No, oh, yes, it is good. Okay. And they got the 2-point conversion and the onside kick. Here we go. It's a one-score game. The Chips have it. They recovered the onside kick. It's an 8-point game. Wykel Summers getting his Heisman moment. We'll have to see. He's a minute from greatness, but they have to get that 2-point conversion. You can never count out one of the best SFA quarterbacks as they're starting to get healthy here at running back as well. It's one of the reasons why McNasty left, because their top 2 running backs kept getting hurt, and I believe they are still hurt here as they are going to hurry it up into the pistol. Wykel Summers, he yams it deep down the sideline, double coverage, and it's dropped. Third down. Wykel Summers, 13-26, 198, 2 touchdowns. They need a touchdown. Do they have magic in them? 3rd and 9. Man in motion. They drop back. They bring a blitz over the middle. It's caught and dropped. 4th down. Now, you got to go for this, and they still have timeouts, so all hope is not technically lost here quite yet. They're 0 for 1 on the day. Can they hit it home? The snap. Summers has time. Yams it deep. Hits his man down the sideline. Inside the 25. Here come the Chips. The drive continues. Almost a mirror image of the play in the watch party, if you guys watch that one. 1st and 10. Wykel dumps it off, open man. He runs over a dude, and it's now inches to go. And then Central Michigan takes their first time out. Who's going to make the play on either side? Under center. Oh, it's a jet sweep. They get to the outside. Beautiful blocking. Cuts inside. Breaks a couple. Stretches in. He down at the 2. John Colvin goes for 12. Julius Nambo on the tackle. The SFA player saves a touchdown. 1st and goal from the 3. Under center. Wykel Summers. Man in motion. Fullback dive. Touchdown, Central Michigan. Down 16 with just over 2 minutes to go. And they are within 2 of tying it. To tie this game and to preserve their playoff chances. Central Michigan. Quick option. Oh, Wykel has it. Oh, baby. And we got a tie game. What a play. Is that his Heisman moment? And he boots it out of the end zone. All right. Minute on the clock. Eastern Michigan has blown a 16-point lead here in the 4th quarter. Can Eastern Michigan get it done? They drop back, dump this off, and that's going to be Aspeth, the SFA player. Haven't seen him too much in his career. Jason McCoy is their quarterback. They're going to go empty here. We got 16 viewers. Thank you guys for jumping in. Winner of this goes to face Ohio for a chance at the playoff. Empty set, 4-man rush. And he floats it deep out of bounds. 3rd down. This could be a devastating loss here for Coach Mike Gronstall. Ooh, Coach Cryo, thank you, thank you. Daddy Cryo. 3rd and 2. Dumps that off, and it tipped away. Brandon Lee, what a dive. Oh, baby, EMU's going to have to punt. You cannot give this back to Wykel Summers. You can absolutely not do it. Gronstall, man, he is mauling here in the chat. Here we go. Central Michigan gets the return. You know, I wasn't all that hyped on Wykel being in the Heisman race. I think he's number 2 right now. But a 16-point comeback in basically a playoff game here. And a chance to win it with 38 seconds. Can Wykel get it done? Probably need about 30 yards. Over the middle, hits his man on the slant. That's about 13 of it. Brandon Scott for 13. They're going to hurry this up now. It's 2 timeouts left. 34 seconds. Wykel dumps this off. Hits his man. Oh my. Bit of a hospital ball, but Gibbs hangs on. The fullback. So 2nd and 1. They use that timeout down to 1. Eric Brown on the hit. EMU, they've got to dig deep here. They got to save the season. Wykel floats it, and it's intercepted! No! Wykel Summers throws a duck. The Heisman hopeful may have just cost his team a playoff spot. Five wide. EMU gets another chance. And overtime's looking more and more plausible, but that's a nice start. 9 yards out of bounds. What a BearCave it's already been, and we're only 4 games in, folks. We got a 19-game slate and Bedlam. Second and 1, 18 seconds left. 4-man rush. McCoy. He's going to be sacked! And they're not going to call the timeout. Wait, yes, they do. They let a couple extra seconds come off the clock. So 12 seconds left. Do they have one more yam in them? Or we go into OT? What a game this has been. Split backs. It can be a screen pass. Aspeth catches it. There's some space down the sideline. There goes Aspeth. If he would have just stayed on the sideline, that could have been a big play, but now they got to hurry it up. They've got to spike it. Are you going to get the spike off? Yes, they do. And, oh, we got a new quarterback in the game, Chase Hayden. So Jason McCoy must have left there on that play due to injury. Yeah, he must have just came out. So, guys, it's Thanksgiving. A chance to make the conference championship. We have got a yam of a lifetime coming up. Eastern Michigan drops back. Hayden comes in. He yams it deep, and he's hit! No yam for you, baby! Only green bean casserole as we head to OT. My goodness, what a game. As always, heads and defense for the away team. As they win the toss, they will start on defense. Here we go. EMU will start it. Classic overtime rules. 2 regular periods, then you have to go for 2 after a score. Delay give here to Aspeth. Breaks a tackle and goes down. Very interesting. This is a game of a lifetime here for the MAC. 2 bitter rivals playing for a chance at a conference championship and a CFP berth. The MAC has not been this relevant since Buffalo. 2nd and 7. Quick option, and they can't flip it out. McCoy is back in, and it's 3rd and 11. The quick option doesn't work, and they're probably going to have to get some more yards because they don't have the best kicker. McCoy drops back, has time, floats it deep, and out of bounds. Oh, no. So will they attempt a kick, or will they go for it? Field goal formation. The kick team is out to put some points on the board. It's a 43-yarder from center field. The kick. It's up. And it is no good! EMU is crumbling in front of our eyes. This is why you guys recruit a kicker, folks. So Central Michigan has their chance. Any score, touchdown, field goal, they win. Anything else, and we are headed to double OT. Like hell. Can he walk it off? Like hell. He's going to scramble. He hits a man, and he gets hit hard. He only gets about 3. Remember, if you're talking about Central Michigan's kicker, they've got SFA kicker Gianni Cottini, the senior. High accuracy guy. So they're just getting a little bit closer here for Cottini. Man in motion. It's going to be option. He flips it out. Very risky, but it works out. They get 4. Lykel Summers not batting an eye here after he threw the game away earlier in the 4th quarter. Remember, if you're just joining us, Eastern Michigan had a 16-point lead with just over 2 minutes left in the ballgame. Quick option, they floated out, and broken 1 tackle. Can he get to the edge? He does! That is a ball buster, Eastern Michigan. You got to make the tackle. You got to make that tackle. Inside the 15. Lykel might be delaying the inevitable. Man in motion, quick option, floats it out. Eastern Michigan's only hope is a botched pitch at this point. Second and 12. Central Michigan can taste it. Victory on their lips. They're going to audible into the pistol. Yamming it to the end zone, 1v1. Oh, that was it! Alex Daniels had the chance at the pick, and he flubbed it. You want to know why you're not playing wide receiver? 3rd and 12. Lykel. He's going to throw it again. What is he doing? He scrambles, and he goes down. Maybe just trying to get to the left hash here. Gordon Smith on the sack. Here we go. Gianni Cottini to send Central Michigan to the conference championship game. It's a 31 or 36-yarder. The kick is up, and it's good! The walk-off from Central Michigan. They will face Ohio with a chance at the college football playoff next week. What a game here. That one was wild. And unfortunately for EMU fans, disastrous end to a season. They will get a bowl game. But you got to feel like they let destiny slip through their fingers. So that is for those of you guys tracking at home, a CMU no cover. We got 2 no covers here in the first 4 games. Let's pay that out while we're waiting here. So 52% of you guys actually picked the no cover. Interesting. And you guys end up winning. Incredible game. And folks, now it's some of the shit talking that's been happening. Is there no audio? Sorry. There's been no audio this whole time? I am sorry, folks. There we go. It should be fixed. Thank you, Cryo. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. All right, so here is the scoring summary. As we said, they had a 16-point lead with just over 2 minutes left, and they flubbed it. The onside kick and the field goal. Eastern Michigan, man, they had their chances. And Wykel Summer goes 17, 33, 262, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Gibbs gets 2 touchdowns. Summers only runs for 47 yards. Really not that great of a day on the stat sheet, but they grinded out the victory here. Couple of TFLs across the board, 4 total sacks. They picked him off 1 time, 3 deflections, and no forced fumbles. And for Eastern Michigan, it was Jason McCoy, 15 of 32, 168, and that 1 pick. Jessica Aspeth, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 for McCoy as well. They had an 85-yard run as well, probably like a jet sweep or something. And on defense, you had Smith and Brown both getting double-digit tackles, ton of TFLs across the board, 2 sacks, 1 for Julius Nambo. Interceptions go to Ford and Brown, and deflections, they had a couple, man. And Bo Drew had the only forced fumble. Central Michigan gets it done in overtime. So like I said, for those guys scoring at home, it is a Central Michigan no cover. I'm trying, bro. Central Michigan no cover. All right, folks. Now we're headed to the Conference USA. We've already figured out the Mountain West Conference. We've already figured out now the MAC Conference. Now we head to UTSA Town. And here's another look. So we now know Wyoming won the division. It's going to be Ohio and Central Michigan. So now we have one of the crazier kind of scenarios going. UTSA, SMU, and Texas State still all alive. UTSA has the clear path. They just need victory. And then both SMU and Texas State need a win and some help. So that's what we're going to do. Here we go. So first, it's going to be SMU and Rice up first. We'll see Tulane play a little bit later, but we'll get the division done. Tulane's already clinched theirs. For those of you guys at home, this is going to be a SMU 9.5-point favorite on the road. This is a team on paper that is the best in the division. But when it comes to actually playing the games, they've had disgusting amount of injuries. Fedro Bautista goes down. Crawdad Sutherland, giddy up. Just any SFA player you can think of has struggled with injuries for SMU and Coach Mush this season. The importance of this game, if SMU wins, then it knocks out Texas State. And then UTSA, if they lose, SMU would go to the conference championship at 5-7. If SMU chokes to Rice here, and remember, Rice had a big upset win last week. I believe it was, I don't remember who it was against. But if they win, if Rice wins, then the game coming up next, UTSA and Texas State, will be a winner take all. So, Coach Mush, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. This is, we got a wiggling meter. Surely that means you'll get it done. Surely, that's what it means, right? All right, here we go. Mush, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive, tails and kick. So here we go, folks. Who is going to face Tulane in the conference championship? A chance to go to the college football playoff. Obviously, Tulane is ranked heavy favorites, but nevertheless, you never know what happens. I mean, we've already seen UTSA upset some people, and we're in Rice. We've got the rain. Anything can happen here. SMU, can their luck finally change? Remember, winner face Tulane in the Conference USA Championship. We're at Rice Stadium. Tails and kick here. They got the majority of their players back. I believe Giddy Up is the only guy who's like a game time decision, so I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. But Crawdad Sutherland, I believe, is back. Not sure. Here we go. Anybody has a chance in a BearCave setting. We know this very well. We got a fumble. SMU capitalizes. Rice gets a field goal. First quarter goes to SMU. And they don't score. And now we got a long drive, and now SMU does capitalize. SMU kind of hanging in there. It's an 11-point game. Texas State on the ropes. Oh, no, it's not looking good for Texas State fans. 28-3, 35-3. SMU sending Rice out with an exclamation point. 42-3 here in the fourth quarter. And there's an interception, and Rice gets a touchdown. This is not over yet. It's pretty much over. It's 32. As we're just going to let this game run out here. So there it is. Mushbrain gets it done. Texas State, unfortunately, is eliminated, but now they can play spoiler to their biggest rival in UTSA. Fedro Bautista gets himself a touchdown run. Baldwin runs it in. Bass, the fantasy football player, getting it done. Oh, baby. 3 third-quarter touchdowns for the fantasy reward player. Fedro Bautista goes 25-31, 318, and 4 touchdowns. Oh, no. But Maurice Carey came in. Hopefully he came in because it was a blowout and not because he's hurt. Oh, no. Jerry Baldwin, 22-101. 1 touchdown here. Bautista got into the end zone as well. Jacrise Bass, 8 for 115 and 3 touchdowns. Nasty work for the sophomore as they ran away with this game. Finally putting it all together just when it matters the most. As 2 TFLs here for Greg Justice. 2 sacks, 1 for LaShawn DeGeeter, SFA player. Interception goes to Burton. Deflections, forced fumbles for Vini and Hall, and 1 recovery. And for Rice, the Rice Owls, Freddie Porter, the true freshman, 61 overall. Not very good. Christian Austin is 26 for 103. And this is just not a very good roster here. Is Justin Harmon, 10 tackles, couple of TFLs. No sacks. They did pick him off twice here. Darrell Easley, a halfback, gets an interception. Not sure how that works. Interception for Lawrence Dean, or deflection, I mean, and 2 fumbles. All right, so SMU covers with ease. So that means, folks, oh, baby. That means this game... I'm sad for Coach Phi, but somebody was going to get the short end of the stick here. But now you can at least play spoiler, so we'll see what happens. It's a cover for SMU. Remember, all games will be posted a little later on tonight. And 98% of you guys had SMU with the cover. So not anybody trusted the Owls, probably rightfully so if you look at that roster. Dogwater feeling the old Arizona days. Rivalry week historically has not been kind to Dogwater. He's lost one of his best players in Rylan Warrenberg. So currently, I believe Todd is starting. Remember, Dogwater, I can change the quarterback if we end up watching. I can't change the quarterback while we're simming, just so you know. So Dogwater gets a choice of heads or tails, kick or receive. Both these are Patreon coaches. We had a request for a maroon out for Texas State, and all gray. If we can, I guess you got to go with the blue helmet here and the gray pants. There we go. All right, so we got maroon and gray here. All right, folks. This one is nasty. Was this the I-35 rivalry? Yes, it is. All right, get those Bobanos in. This is one that we have all circled on the calendar. It's a 3-point favorite on the road. You got UTSA taking on Texas State and the freshman Tubi Sloot. Kids, now remember, it's not a divisional win that could possibly happen here for Texas State, but it could be, ruining their opponent's chances and sending SMU to the conference championship. So heads and kick for Dogwater. Here we go. Get your Bobanos going. 6-5 for Texas State. So technically they are in line for a bowl game if they win. So this is still very massive for Coach 5 because normally 7-win teams should be in for a bowl game. UTSA, this is all or nothing. Chance at a playoff or no bowl game whatsoever. And Josiah Byrd, baby, he comes up in the biggest moments. The former East Carolina Pirate. Can he make an impact in this game? SMU has the head-to-head over Texas State, so if Texas State can prevail, SMU goes. Yeah, Dogwater gets no bowl game here. If you win this game, and even if you lose the conference championship, you still get a bowl. You got to win this game. So heads and kick here for Dogwater. The lore-only lineup going against one of the promising young coaches of this generation. Who is going? First quarter, it's a slower sim. Oh, baby. Texas State starts off, but they missed the extra point. Oh, 13-0 right to the dome. Not like this, Dogwater, as we head to the second quarter. And UTSA can't score. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is going to be a slicking interception, and they get a touchdown. And, oh, Texas State adds one before half. It's 20-7. SMU looking really good. Texas State! Oh, my God, not like this. Texas State might be running away with this game. Fourth quarter, can we see something? It's a quick touchdown for UTSA. It's not over yet, folks. And they can't stop them. Yes, they do. They get a sack. All right, we're going to go play by play because one score and they're back in this game. It's 4th and inches. They're going to have to. Yes, they do. Mercury Morris. Chris Ham! Chris Ham! And they get they get 2 penalties. It's 1st and 30. But Norton gets 26 of it back. It's 3rd and 4. They're down inside the 20. Touchdown, UTSA! It's Norton. It was 1st and 30. Here we go. 3rd and 9. 3 timeouts left for UTSA. They could give this up and still technically be okay, but this is the moment. Down at 6. Can UTSA get it done? To be Sloot in the backfield. Here's the snap. They hand it off, and oh, they get penetration, but a broken tackle, and they bring them down. Here comes a timeout. Dogwater looks like he'll get the ball back. Cole Scott running the ball, and they're going for it. Texas State in no man's land. They're going for the win. Oh, my goodness. 4th down. Game on the line. Can To-Be Sloot make some magic? Dumps it out wide. 2 men on 1. He cuts in. Cuts out. He's short. UTSA gets their chance. It looked grim there for a second, but they made the play. UTSA down 20 in the 4th quarter. Can we see another comeback? Todd at quarterback. Man in motion. Dumps that off. It's a completion to Norton. And a 1st down. Or Chris Ham! It's Chris Ham making plays. So I guess with your boy out, Rylan Warrenberg, Chris Ham comes in. 1st and 10. He yams it to the corner, and it's overthrown. Mike Todd having an okay day here. Yeah, Blaze might be out because Cole Scott was running the ball. Down at 6. Full house. Handoff here. Mercury Morris, he pushes through, and he gets 5. Oh, my God, dude. This guy, man. Put in Miles Tilley for the lore. All right, so he's pulling Mike Todd. and putting in Miles Tilley, the redshirt freshman that defeated Coastal Carolina. Can he find some magic? Here we go. 3rd and 5. Miles Tilley, the big-armed quarterback. 58 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Tilley, he has time, yams it deep, and it's caught! Chris Ham, the Yams legend. If Chris Ham does this, it will be legendary. 1st and 10, 50 seconds left. Can Texas State hang on? They dump it to the corner. It's Chris Ham again. The Chris Ham legacy game, folks. 2nd and 5. Inside the 30, they need a touchdown. Miles Tilley, he has time to the corner. Open man, it's Chris Ham again! Chris Ham, baby, he's turning it on. 3 passes, 3 hams. Forget the yams today, folks. We're eating honey ham on Thanksgiving. 1st and 10 inside the 25. Tilley over the middle. It's caught by Mercury Morris. Clock is ticking. 30 seconds. Can Texas State hang on? Their bowl game hopes hanging in the balance. Coach Mushbrain on his heels. The butt cheeks are clenching on all 3 parties. They yam it deep and overthrown. He was open in the back of the end zone, but Tilley just missed him. Too many bench presses there for Miles Tilley. 3rd and 2. 20 seconds left. Tilley to the end zone. Caught! It's Chris Ham! It's Chris Ham! That might just send them to the Conference USA Championship. The extra point to give them the lead. And it's good! Chris Ham, the Yams legend. "16 seconds in a dream here for Tubby Sloot. Legacy moment here for Texas State. Oh my God, he's down the sideline. There they go, and they bring him down. Mark Clancy almost killed San Antonio. 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left in the dream. Maybe 2 plays here for Texas State. Tubby Sloot. They drop back. Tubby dumps it short. And he stiffies a man. Gets out of bounds. 5 seconds left. Hunter Marshall, SFA player. So here we go. We didn't see the yam for EMU. It's Thanksgiving, folks. Tubby Sloot, can he deliver us the yams? Texas State. 5 seconds left in a dream. Tubby Sloot. He yams it deep and it's incomplete! 1 second! 1 second! UTSA saved it, but there's 1 second! They get another chance. 1 second on the clock. Tubby Sloot, can he get it off? Sloot yams it deep! And it's intercepted! UTSA is going to the conference championship. What a finish! A 20-point comeback in the 4th quarter. And it's Chris Ham. Unbelievable. UTSA, the magic continues as they will go and take on Tulane for the Conference USA Championship next week. Such a tough loss there, Coach Fi. I'm so sorry. And for Mushbrain, man, I know I call you a terrorist, but that one hurts just as much. As it's a 1-point victory, Texas State gets the It's the cover, so it's a no cover for UTSA. We've had like no covers this season, and now we have a ton here tonight. Ton of close matchups. You'll love to see it. Still got a full slate of games. Just a crazy sequence here in the Conference USA. 3 users, 3 outcomes, and UTSA gets it done with a 20-point comeback. The 2 QB system continues to work for like no reason. All this to lose by 35. So now, I mean, the real importance of this game, regardless of outcome in the Conference USA Championship, is UTSA is now guaranteed a bowl game. Texas State is not. They got to wait and see if their name is called, which is so tough. You got a 51-yarder for Marshall. Ham had the legacy moment. So Miles Tilley goes 5 of 6, 53 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, Mike Todd played well as well, but this is a 2-quarterback system. 22 of 34, 278, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Mercury Morris unable to run the ball today. James Norton absolutely cooked here. 11 for 164. Chris Ham as well in a replacement for Rylan Warrenberg here this week. On defense, it was Cole Jones, 14 tackles, Jared Hurst, and 5 TFLs for Cole Jones. So the backup, maybe Graham Concoro got hurt, but the sack goes to Cole. 2 interceptions, 1 for Dave King, and I think Lamar Lanes picked off the Hail Mary. Another Yams legend. No forced fumbles here tonight. And for Texas State, you got Tubi Sloot going 17 of 33, 302, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. You can wipe one of those off. It's just the Hail Mary. The true freshman man making this team relevant. Can't wait to see how he grows. And then rushing the ball, Blaze Hollister looked like he must have gotten hurt as Cole Scott came in. He's also had a great sophomore year. Receiving, Hunter Marshall led the way. And on defense, Jared Coley, 7 yards. And potentially the last time we've ever seen the great Josiah Bird. 2 TFLs. Sack goes to Coley. Interception to Malloy. A couple of deflections across the board. Some missed opportunities. And no fumbles. Yeah, for those of you guys newer to the SFA, typically to reach the mountaintop, there's a lot of bummers along the way. A lot of chip shots. And this is one of them. Dogwater has felt many of them, so he was kind of due for one here. You got to take your lumps here. So that's a UTSA no cover if you're following along. Oh, yeah, Texas State, they got the #1 recruit in the country, folks, so they've got a lot to look forward to. And now, before we get to kind of the Power 5 games, as is tradition, we always check in on the Army-Navy game. Even though it's not so much necessarily all that important in any division races, this is just a game that you always check out. So the predictions for this game, who covers? This is a Army 2-point favorite on the road. Remember, you might be wondering, why is this a 2-point favorite? They're a better team. They were ranked all season. Well, Andy Gateway, their starting quarterback for Army, is hurt. So, he is hurt. He will not play in this game. So, get your Bobanos going for this game. Army, Navy, love to see it. Shout out to the troops. Wish real life Army or Navy could have done something in the playoff, but Notre Dame got in both their ways, unfortunately. Boo. Honestly, I can only cheer for Notre Dame if they have Boss Hennessy or they have Miles Gooch. They don't have either. They got bum, whatever his name is, from Duke. So, Cincinnati's already won the division. They will face Charlotte. Now, Navy is the only team in the country that did defeat them. And remember, guys, this is a neutral site game. We switch back and forth each year on which neutral site, but this time it's in, I think, we're in Lincoln Financial Field this year. Last year, I think it was M&T Bank Stadium or whatever New York's is. So yeah, we're in Philadelphia here, closest big stadium to Annapolis. So as always, heads and kick. We get to see the last game, potentially, of the great T.J. Sanderson, the receiver for Army. So 0-0 here in the first quarter. Looks like a tough, gritty Army-Navy game, as they always are. 3-0. No elements. I always like when the Army-Navy game has elements. It's always really fun. 17-0 for Army, though, as we head into the second half here. Can Navy get on the board? Army, remember, without their starting quarterback. But it doesn't look like Navy decided to come to play today. 20-0. Looks like Navy took the day off. And there you go. You get a touchdown. All right. We'll see if they get a change of possession. And they run the clock out. Oh, man. They completely ran it out. Kicked a field goal, and that's game. Army's going to cover. It's a golden pile of trash, and I love it. So Army domination here in the Army-Navy game gets them to 10 wins as Michael Parks in relief here for Andy Gatewood goes 9-15, 138. J.J. Rogers, the fullback, and they couldn't even really run it well. It's just, you know, T.J. Sanderson, the senior, only one catch today, because of course. And on defense side, 14 tackles here for Luke Mason, 6 TFLs. And if you plug up the slot here, or not the slot, but if you plug up the interior against an Army or a Navy, they're not going to do too much against you. A lot of deflections. And for Navy, Corey Kelly, the junior, 12-31. They just had to start throwing. John Herring couldn't really do much. Tony Goosley, 5 for 50. And on defense, Victor Johnson, Yams legend, Jed Patrick gets 13 tackles, 4 TFLs. 5 TFLs for a lot of guys, so they played decent defense, but they just couldn't hang on or generate any offense. And no fumbles. So that's it for the Army-Navy game. Army gets it done. I wonder how many times, or what the kind of SFA record for that matchup is. I believe Army probably owns them because they've just historically been a bit better. So for those of you guys scoring at home, that is a Army cover here tonight. As we are, if you're just joining us, we are on a 19-game slog here through Rivalry Week, going through all the games that matter for conference championships and just big-time matchups, big-time rivalries. And one rivalry that is pretty SFA-centric is the Battle of the Beak. If you don't know what the Battle of the Beak is, folks, welcome to the Big Ten football. Maryland and Iowa, 2 SFA lore monster programs. The Days of Maryland and the Heisman winner, Dre Kirkpatrick, for the corner. And you got Rayshon Gloop in Iowa, Coach Jarkis going against Coach Papa Smoke. This is a fun one. This is a chance for Maryland to get to bowl eligibility for any of those promises, and for Iowa, a chance to really cement themselves in a high-tier bowl game. So we got the Battle of the Beak going at Maryland and Iowa. Rayshon Gloop's last regular season game. And folks, I do have word that an even bit more on the line in this game. Iowa has used some visits. So Iowa has kind of told Papa Smoke in the world that he's gonna destroy the Battle of the Beak, use a visit, and get some recruits. So kind of disgusting here for a rivalry game. So Iowa is the favorite. They're a 3-point favorite. Can Rayshon Gloop find some magic? Or is Maryland and the freshman quarterback Benedict Cumberland, or whatever his name is he going to do the impossible? So it's a 3-point favorite here for Iowa. Get those Bobinas going. Let's get the 1 minute on the clock. Battle of the Beak. So, skipping a game? I don't think I skipped a game. Oh, yeah, I guess I did skip a game. So we'll go to Charlotte and Coastal after this game since I'm already here. Yeah, good shout, Coach Mike. Yeah, I missed the game, but we'll go to that one after this. Doesn't really matter. All right, since I already put the Bobinas out. All right, so Jarkis, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. Or just kick or receive since you're the home team. I don't see Papa Smoke here. Oh, yes, he is. Papa Smoke gets control. Papa Smoke. Heads or tails, kick or receive for the Terps. I have become a Maryland fan. I do actually have some Maryland home field. So, remember, home field apparel, 30% off Black Friday sale going all week long. I don't see Papa Smoke talking in chat. Come on, Papa. Heads or tails, kick or receive, son. Tails and kick. All right, here we go. So, Battle of the Beak. It doesn't mean too much in the grand scheme of things, but man, this is a battle. Here we go. Terps and Hawkeyes. Ratkinnick Stadium. There are reports this week that Maryland would not be participating in the wave after the first quarter, as they do not care about cancer patients. Big if true. And Coach Papa Smoke apparently is undefeated. All right, so here we go. Tails and kick. This is a big time matchup. Rayshon Gloop continues to lose more hair as the season goes on. First quarter in the Battle of the Beak. No score quite yet. Maryland breaks ground first. Oh, no. Not at Kinnick. Maryland takes a 10-point lead. Rayshon Gloop, not like this, buddy. Get it going. They can't score. 13-0 right to the dome here. Benedict Hasselbrook has him in a headlock. Iowa scores out of the break. Rayshon Gloop finally woke up, but Maryland might be too far ahead. It's a 20-point lead. We head to the fourth quarter. Are we going to see it again? Touchdown, Hawkeyes. We're going to go one play at a time, see if Iowa can get this back. And oh no, that is a punt. They got to get this ball back. They got to stop them. They can't. Maryland is doming them. The Battle of the Beak is going to go to the Terrapins. Oh my, Rayshon Gloop throws a pick. Gloop. Oh no, not like this for Gloop. This is unbelievable in the recruiting races as well, folks. We got quite a few games left, Jay Jettas, but 34-14 straight to the dome. The Terps win the Battle of the Beak. They had injuries all year long. They finally get healthy, and Kiki Okacha and Andy Newton both go ballistic. Glooped all over his face and lower back. Benedict Hasselbrook, welcome to the SFA from Spearfish, South Dakota. 28-39, 381, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. James Morse, the running back, 73 yards. Andy Newton comes back from injury. He gets 2 tutties. Kiki Okacha, the freshman, also cooks. And Wigglesworth gets 2 blocks. DeMarcus Hall, 16 tackles, 5 TFLs, 1 sack. The interception goes to Paris Hood. The deflections go to Stephen Gilmore. And 2 fumbles, 1 for Yamari Ono, the senior, and Drew Williams. And for Rayshon Gloop, his senior year ends in disaster. They should be in a bowl game, but it's now up in the air. Because 7-5, you might make a bowl. You should probably make a bowl, but you might not. 13-27, 224, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And for Howell Miller, 103, 1 touchdown. Now, Maryland may not end up winning a bowl, but they put their name now in the hat. And Carlo Hadley, he's going to be a fantastic player. He's only a freshman. A couple of TFLs here for the defense. Kind of shocked that this defense gave up 34. This is a good defense here for Iowa, historically as well. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles here. As Maryland gets it done, they'll go to 6-6, and Iowa drops to 7-5. Jarkus, if you're sick now, you better look at what's coming for recruiting, man. I told you, you use some of those visits, right? You better. Oh man, not a good day. So that is going to be a A Maryland outright victory, folks. Our first outright victory of the night, believe it or not. Had a bunch of no covers. That's a merry outright. We're getting our way through the slate, JJs. It shouldn't be too late. I don't think it's going to be midnight your time. Probably going to be about normal. All right, so now we're going to revert course and go back and finish Coastal Carolina and Charlotte, as this was the game that should have been right before. As you guys, this is a 7-point favorite for Coastal. I believe Bryce Beers is questionable for this game. He actually might be playing. We'll have to see. But both these teams are locked into their conference championships. They will be playing next week for a place in the college football playoff. Coastal Carolina faces Southern Miss, and Charlotte faces Cincinnati. But who is going to win this game? Are you going for Coastal, who's a 7-point favorite, or are you going for Charlotte, a team that is kind of been on nobody's radar this year, but they keep just blowing teams out? Now, they haven't really played anyone. That's why I haven't ranked them in my rankings. But this is definitely one of those games that is fun to see kind of how they stack up. If you look on paper, it's really even. So let's see what happens. Coastal Carolina. Bryce Beers, a generational talent, trying to make the college football playoff for the first time in their history. A team that's had like 3 legendary quarterbacks in a row. C.J. Irons, Grant Davis, and now Bryce Beers. And they still can't get it done. We'll see if they can get it done next week against Southern Miss. They already beat them once, but... So we'll jump in here. This is a 7-point favorite for Coastal. Nothing really on the line other than rankings and bragging rights, right? And Coastal Carolina is in position where potentially, if they win here and they win next week against Southern Miss, they could vault themselves up into potentially a first-round bye. Remember, all conference champions will end up making the playoff, but you want to get a home game at least. So it's going to really depend on your resume and how you stack up against other conference champions on if you're going to get a home game, a bye, or if you're going to have to go on the road. And you really don't want to go on the road because historically the home teams win about 75% of the time in the first round. So here we go. Charlotte and Coastal Carolina. Jerry Richardson Stadium. It's a home game here for Charlotte. As always for CPU, it's going to be heads and kick. And Charlotte elected to receive. So first quarter here, does Charlotte have what it takes? As Ham Soul, and no, I do not see Bryce Beers playing. So this is not a Bryce Beers game. This is Pope in at quarterback. As Charlotte now takes a 7-0 lead. No score for Coastal here in the first quarter. But they do have Andy Brown, their running back. So they have a starting running back, but they don't have the quarterback. It's 14-7 now as we enter the fourth quarter. Charlotte goes up 10. It's going to be a real slog fest here for Coastal. It doesn't look like they might get it done. We're going to go one play at a time. Can Pope find some legendary play? He gets it to Bishop. Bishop has been his golden connection. He hits him again. A.J. Ferguson, and they get the score. Big time touchdown. They miss the extra point. As now, remember, folks, we can only jump in when we hit that 2-minute mark. So 4th and 5. Here we go. They're going for it to clinch the game for Charlotte with a big time upset. Can Charlotte get it done? Ham Soul. SFA player Nico McMotors in the backfield. 4th and 5. What is the call? Charlotte drops back. It's 3-man rush. Dumps it short. They're going to have to make a play, and they do. Turnover. Tried to get it to the tight end. It didn't work. And Coastal Carolina gets their chance to win this game. Here we go. We got more great football for you guys. As we, after this game, we'll start heading to the Power 5 to get to the big-time matchups of the week. As now, I think that we have the entire G5 sorted out division-wise. Yes, we do. So Pope at quarterback, the lefty. He yams it deep. Overthrow, tipped away. Remember, folks, Charlotte does have arguably the best corner in SFA history at getting pick sixes. Devontae Billings, he is a multiple-time SFA Team of the Year corner, bottom of your screen. He has like 3 pick sixes a year in his career. He's ridiculous. Pope, free rusher, dumps that to the far side and gets out of bounds. 3rd and 6. Third and 6 now. Pope hurries it up. They bring a corner blitz. It's picked up. And he dumps that short. They got to make a play. And he pushes forward. First down, A.J. Ferguson. These wide receivers, man, they are so good, even with Pope thrown to them. But they do have Andy Brown back, their star running back. He was out for the Southern Miss game day game. Coastal, the lefty Pope, flings it. It's short of the line to gain, but they move. They move the rock. Still a minute left. They call that first time out. My voice is probably going to start dipping out here soon, so just so you guys know. Split backs. Rucker is on the field. He had like a 75-yard run against Southern Miss, and the Yams at deep. Oh, no. 3rd down. Zach Pope gets scared there on the screen pass. Hot tea and honey. Yeah, I don't have tea at my house. I don't like tea, but probably could use it. 3rd and 2. Pope yams it deep to the corner, and it is tipped away. 4th down. Remember, Winnie Corso is no longer on this Charlotte team. He's over in Notre Dame. So this is a Winnie Corso-less team. So game on the line. This would be a huge upset. 4th and 2. Coastal. Over the middle. Hits his man. It's wide open. He gets to the edge inside the 30. It's A.J. Ferguson. Keeps the drive going. 48 seconds left. It looks like they are in field goal range now. But that doesn't matter. It's 4 points. They missed the extra point. They need a touchdown here. Zach Pope. He has time. He yams it. Oh, my God. He gets slaughtered. That's Manny Midline, the SFA player, BearCave reward player. Absolutely destroyed Pope. 2nd and 10. Dumps that short. And broken tackled. Will they give him the first down? No, James White does not. Remember, this Coastal team has some funny names. They got James White and Antonio Brown. Just funny name generation for IRL players. 3rd and inches. 36 seconds. 1 timeout. Pope. It's a screen. Pope. He yams it deep, and it's out of bounds. Another 4th down upcoming. Yeah, I like the recommendations, but I don't have any of that stuff in my house. I just have cough drops. 4th and inches. Game on the line. Safety's coming in. They're guessing a run. 4th and inches. It's a keeper. Pope can't get there. Turnover on down. Charlotte's going to get the upset. And the entire Coastal Carolina fan base is begging Bryce Beers to be back for the conference championship game. 17-13 will be your final. Charlotte is going to be 10-2. And McNasty and in Cincinnati better be on their toes. This could get feisty here. A Charlotte team in the playoff is plausible. Unbelievable. So Coastal definitely will drop a notch or two in the rankings. No, I don't have any silver bullets right now, but yes, I do support silver bullets. All I have is cough drops and Welch Ghost energy drinks. I actually have no food in my house besides what I'm eating for dinner. My buffalo mac and cheese, which is probably not good for the throat. But anyways, here is the scoring summary. We got Toby Zuma, Andy Brown all getting touchdowns. And a very low-scoring game here. Charlotte shocks the world. Zach Pope doesn't have that bad of a game. He is a serviceable backup. Adam Brown doesn't do hardly anything, though. Nick Bishop goes 8 for 130. And the defense, James Jordan, McKenzie, and Moon all have double-digit tackles. Jordan and McKenzie going nutty here in tackles for loss. Couple of sacks. Interception for Percy Lockhart, one of the best 1-stars in SFA history. Matt Miller gets a fumble. And it wasn't enough as Ham Sal, SFA player, goes 11 for 21, 176 and a pick, and they still win. Nico McMotors, Ham Sal, and Toby Zuma on the ground get it done. Receiving, McMotors gets the most receptions and yardage. And on defense, 9 tackles, 4 for Rogers, 1 sack for Francis, no interceptions, deflections for Fontaine and Gamboa, and no fumbles. So players of the game, for those of you guys scoring at home, this is a Charlotte outright victory. So big time upset there. We get 2 outrights in a row. So things are starting to unravel here. Well, to be fair, I was just in Denver for 5 days, so there's no reason for me to have food in my place here, you know. All right. So we continue on this slog as we now head to the Patreon game of the week. It was voted on that we would take a look at Notre Dame and Stanford. Stanford maybe vying for a late playoff push here at 9-2, but probably a bit unlikely as Notre Dame wants to, let me check the jerseys, green and gold versus Cardinal. Okay, so this is going to be, where are we? Oh, this is a push game. Awesome. All right. So it was Charlotte. A lot of people are guessing Charlotte there as well. All right, so who wins, folks? Do you have Notre Dame, Boss Hennessy? Or do you have Stanford? There's no spread on this one. Stanford had a tough L. They will not play for the division championship. How do you not have red pants? That's just disgusting. How do you not have red pants? That's just disrespectful. And how do you not have a red helmet? All right, so we'll go black then, if we're going to go with the green and gold here. So, ridiculous uniforms here for a ridiculous game. Battle for the Legends Trophy. Receive head, baby. Yui knows what's up. So, just as I'm waiting for you guys, just want to kind of recap the group of 5 as your conference championships are now set. In the ACC, either Cincinnati or Charlotte will make the playoff. Tulane or UTSA will make the playoff. Ohio or Central Michigan will make the playoff. Wyoming or UNLV will make the playoff. And Coastal Carolina or Southern Miss will make the playoff. So we now have 4 divisions left, and the funniest being Boise State. So we'll see a little later if they can get it done. We already know the ACC. Florida State and UNC. Notre Dame, this is just a fun game to watch. So we'll check it out, see what happens here. Here we go, folks. Notre Dame. Boss Hennessy, his last regular season game of his illustrious career. They're not going to make the playoff, but a win here would give them a very nice bowl game. And honestly, just thinking about it right now, obviously I just make the matchups for the best possible matchup, like on paper or whatever. But imagine a Gloop versus Hennessy bowl game. I think that would be absolutely incredible. We'll see what happens. It may not even be a possibility here. But I would like to see Notre Dame versus Iowa. 2 ridiculous quarterbacks going at it one last time. All right, here we go. Love this uniform matchup, though. Oh, I didn't do a poll. Yes, I did a poll. You already did the poll. And nobody picked. What the heck? I already did the poll. All right, here we go. So, heads and receive. It says I did the poll. Okay, hold on. It never came up. I guess that's why nobody picked. Okay. Well, let me do it again. Who wins? All right. It should pop up now. Get your Bob and Us going. It's a just pick 'em game. All right, I threw it up there. Let's see. Can you guys now make a prediction? All right, well, now, there we go. Now we got some Bob and Us going here. There we go. Now we got some people going. All right, so I'll wait a couple of seconds here. Should be fine. We're going to receive head here for Notre Dame. Love this jersey matchup. We got the Christmas matchup here on Thanksgiving, of course. On my plane ride over this morning at like 5 a.m., I watched Elf on my flight. It was on the screen thing. So Buddy the Elf over here for Notre Dame. All right, here we go. Heads and receive. Let's get her done. Boss Hennessy on the field. Desmond Stryker, the former #1 recruit. Who's going to get it done? Stanford has had a very light schedule. They missed an extra point. We've seen a lot of that today. 13-6 after one quarter. Second quarter, Notre Dame extends to a 10-point lead. Boss Hennessy playing well. Boss Hennessy extend the lead. 23-6. Stanford on fraud watch. Stanford on fraud watch. They're getting blitzed. 36-6 as we enter the fourth quarter. Stanford is getting ran out of the building here by the Irish. Oh my, it's a 30-point game. Stanford doesn't know what to do with themselves. They can't score. It's 39-6. And that's going to do it. Absolute domination here for the Irish. And that is a Notre Dame outright victory, folks. As we take a look at the scoring summary. As Boss Hennessy gets quite a few touchdowns here. Dan Jolly puts one on the board. Boss Hennessy goes 13 for 20, 224, and 4 touchdowns. Maybe reinserting himself in the Heisman conversation. Terrence Boyd, the backup, gets 100 yards. And on defense, Scott Grant gets 10 tackles. 2 TFLs here for Johnson. 2 sacks. The interceptions go to Green, Greer, and Grant, the triple G. 3 deflections as well. And the forced fumble for Ryan Green. Big time day for him. He also had the interception. And for Stanford, Shu Okani kind of being a fraud today. 19-37, 226, and 3 interceptions for the sophomore. Chris Cox gets over 100 yards, but when you turn over the ball this much, it's kind of over. Couple pancakes here. Tackle-wise, 9 tackles, 3 TFLs, 4 total sacks. This is Chop Bogtrotter, SFA player, gets 2. Deflections, you get 2 here for Bogtrotter. He had himself a day, even though the rest of the team did not. It's a 33-point victory here for the Irish. So 42% of you guys make the poll. There you go. It's an outright victory here for Notre Dame and Boss Hennessy. He's trying to lead Notre Dame not to a playoff, but to a bowl win. I don't think Boss Hennessy has a bowl win in his career. Maybe he does. It would be in the playoff, though. Soon, pizza, it's coming for you. I promise. It's coming for you. All right, so we're going to start off in the SEC. Normally, you save, like, the SEC for the finale, but not tonight, as this is kind of the boring kind of slate here. We obviously got game day, a couple great games coming, but we're going to start with the division battle. Oklahoma's already locked up the division on one side. On the other side, though, Tennessee has the inside path, as they always do. They just have to win out against these lightweight Kentucky's, Vanderbilt's at the end of the season, right? It's a tale as old as time. But if they lose and Auburn wins, they will be in line to go to the conference championship. Winning the division and making a bowl, yeah. You're bowl eligible, and you're 6-6 anyways. 6-6 means bowl eligible now. So we're going to start with this game. Alabama and Auburn. Auburn is number 4 in the country. They are, if they win out, regardless of what happens, as long as there's not like insane chaos in conference championships, they potentially are in line for one of those few at-large bids. So Auburn, they are a 7-point favorite. Alabama not having the year that you would think they would be having. Them and Georgia kind of in a down year. But we'll see. You never know what happens in the Iron Bowl, folks. So 7-point favorite here for Auburn. Cabbage, if you're here, let me know. Kick or receive. Yeah, winning the division guarantees you'll actually play in a bowl game. So you'll get a guaranteed slot, which at 6-6 you probably wouldn't get anyways. All right, anybody riding the Bama train? I don't see Cabbage here. Remember, Cabbage needs to win this game in order to hope to win the division. If he loses this game, Tennessee wins regardless. And if Auburn chokes, I mean, this might be the end of their playoff run. We're not giving out participation wins here, Dogwater. No. You're 6-6 because you're trash. Yeah, you can still make the playoff at 7-6. That's wild. We got a couple teams like that. We need a UTSA Boise State first round matchup. Make it happen. So here we go. It's raining here in the Iron Bowl. Number 4, Auburn, one of their better seasons they've ever had. Can they finish the job? Remember, they're without star running back Brandon Price. They got the fullback, Watkins, filling in. All right, so Alabama controls the toss. I don't see Cabbage, so it's just going to be kick or whatever. So here we go. Zero's on the clock. First quarter, Auburn starts the scoring out. Alabama not doing much, 14-0 after 1. Can Alabama crawl their way back in? It doesn't look like it. Auburn might be sending a message to the rest of the country here. 28-7, 28-10 at halftime. Can Alabama crawl their way back? They get a touchdown there. 35-17. We've seen 20-point comebacks in the fourth quarter multiple times tonight. Can we get another one? 38-17. It doesn't look good here for the Alabama Crimson Tide as they throw an interception to Keon Beachcastle, the SFA player. Clock is ticking. No scores are happening. Auburn may have just done it. 41-17. Another interception. Auburn takes care of business as they beat Alabama, and Alabama will not be going bowling. 41-17. Kofi Garnett gets a touchdown. Jamie Watkins gets 3. Oh, baby. So, Auburn 10-2. Alfonso Jackson 14-23. 190. 1 passing touchdown. Rushing the ball, Jamie Watkins 161. 3 touchdowns. Remember, on paper, Auburn is the best team in the nation. Kofi Garnett 7 for 138. And on defense, spread the tackles around today. Holyfield gets 2 TFLs. 3 total sacks. Interceptions go to Beachcastle and Charles and Franklin. Deflections across the board. They get 5 and no fumbles. And for Alabama, Joe Hayden, 14-29, 228, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Not good enough. Brian Smith, 90 yards. And SFA player Phil Franklin's the third, gets 4 for 61. And on defense, Vaughn gets 9 tackles, 3 TFLs. No sacks here. Interceptions, none. Deflections, they get 2. And a fumble for Silva, not picked up. So 41-17 is your final. Auburn gets the cover. And now they await the winner. So that is a Auburn cover. So now we await the winner of Tennessee and Vanderbilt. So that is Auburn cover. Actually in the minority there. Not a lot of people believed in the Auburn Tigers. So that is a Auburn cover if you're following along at home. Looks like I'm headed to Tuscaloosa. Yeah, Babanas, 99 offense problem. Does a losing record a cause for one of the locked schools to open? Yeah, so anybody that made the playoff last season, and it's not very good this year, is going to be opened. But if you're looking at a team like Clemson, who went like 4-8 this season, they're not going to be opened unless you're a coach with historic playoff success. So, like, just anybody can't be going to Clemson this year. You would have to be a perennial playoff caliber coach to land either like a Georgia job or a Clemson job. Buffalo's probably going to open here. ECU is probably one more year before I open them up. Yeah. It just really depends on the situation. It's just kind of historically how it works. But for sure, a Clemson or like a Georgia, you gotta work for it, kind of like UE did. Yeah, it's just based on the situation. Like UE's was a super specific situation. Okay, what are we doing next? Oh, it's Tennessee and Vanderbilt as we're making our way through this slate. We're in the second half of it now. All right, so setting it up. We just saw Auburn get it done in the Iron Bowl. Now Tennessee win, and they are in to the SEC Championship against Oklahoma. A loss, and it is Auburn that is going. So big time game here. Nick, if you're here, receive or kick, and we'll get this. So Tennessee in this game, this might be our biggest spread of the night, 17 points. Surely Vanderbilt isn't going to create a massive upset. We've seen this kind of thing before. I don't think Tennessee has ever been upset when they have a division on the line. They might be due. Yeah, this is the biggest spread we've had today, and we'll only have one that's close to it a little later. Flame isn't allowed to leave. If you think of Flame, you think of Baylor. I would love for him to stay at Baylor forever. It just feels right. Hopefully you guys can see the poll as it is up. You got Tennessee, you got Vanderbilt. 17-point favorite. We got a wiggly column here. I don't see Nick in chat, so it's going to be just kick. So here we go. Does anybody want to take Vanderbilt in the poll? I mean, it's 17 points. It's a lot of points. This is a rivalry, for crying out loud. They're 5-6. It could get Vandy to bowl eligibility probably for the first time in a while. Here we go. We're at Neyland. They did not checker Neyland. Looks very mismatchy. Remember, they have an SFA quarterback. They've got Craig Jeffries over there. Some SFA players still stuck on Vandy. So can they make some headroom? Can we see the unthinkable? Can Cabbage finally take down mighty Tennessee? They need help from Vanderbilt. And early start, not much. Tennessee gets a quick touchdown. Vanderbilt adds a field goal. This is a low-scoring game. It might be in Vandy's favor. Remember, Dennis Martell, their running back, is a Heisman hopeful. Heisman hopefuls have not been faring too well today, as it's only 10-3 at halftime. Tennessee not looking too great. They add a touchdown right after halftime, and now they might be on the run, up 17. Now it's currently a cover. Can Vanderbilt get something going? They get one. There you go. It's a 10-point game. Remember, we've seen quite a few comebacks today. Teams getting a bit fussy. We get a run there. There's a touchdown. Vanderbilt, they're cooking. Can they get a stop? Remember, once we get to the 2-minute mark, we'll jump in, and there it is. So inside the 20 here for Tennessee, up by 3. Vanderbilt needs a stop. Hand off to Dennis Martell. Up the middle, he stiffies a man. So if you pick the cover for Vanderbilt, you are in business. Auburn has a chance here. They need to get a stop. Force the field goal and drive down for a touchdown. Duke's at quarterback. The handoff here to Martell to the outside. He runs out of room, and he goes down for nothing. 3rd and 6 here for Vandy. Third and 6. Oh, baby. What is the call? Senior day for Tennessee. Handoff here to Dennis Martell to the edge. He's going to get it. That's going to be a touchdown. Tennessee takes the lead and cements their spot at the top of the division. Touchdown, Tennessee. And we'll go back to the sim. Remember, has to be a one-score game. So we'll see if Vanderbilt can do something here. Go one play at a time. And there's the kneeling it out. So Tennessee gets it done. It's not going to be a cover. It's a no cover. And Tennessee will go to the SEC Championship to face Oklahoma and Coach Jay Jettas for a spot in the college football playoff. Very nice try there for Vanderbilt. They made a push late. As Dukes only completed 9 of 14 for 97 yards. He did not do much. It was all Martell on the ground. 158, 3 tutties. Very nice. Very different offense they're running over there, but they have one of the best defenses in the country. A couple of sacks. Hazelhurst, the SFA player, gets sacked. No turnovers there for deflections. They do get one fumble for Vandersloot, SFA guy. And Craig Jeffries, who went 14 of 33, 138, and 2 touchdowns. Very nicely done. Run game did not really provide today. No defense, 10 tackles for more. 3 TFLs for Washington, no sacks, interceptions, none, and deflections, they get 1 for Ratcliffe, and no fumbles. Coach Fi, please DM me that you redeemed raffle tickets so that I don't forget. Just tell me how many in a DM. So it looks like it's 2. All right, so that is, for those of you guys tracking at home, that is a Vanderbilt, or sorry, this is a Tennessee no cover. So let's make sure we pay that out for you guys. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. Thanks for sticking with us. We still got Bedlam coming up. We still got a ton of fun games coming up as well. And we've got recruits later on tonight. Who's going to get Cleat Peppers, the star quarterback? All right, so now we're going to figure out one of the weirdest races of the season, the Big 12. So let's go to the Big 12. Let's break it down for you. Oklahoma State, regardless of their game, is in the conference championship. But will they face Arkansas or will they face Iowa State? If you look here, in the top middle, if Iowa State wins at Kansas State, they are the team. They've beaten Baylor. They've beaten Oklahoma State already. They are in line for a big-time climb. Arkansas, though, they still have a dream here. If they beat Texas Tech and Iowa State loses to Kansas State, then Arkansas will go. So big-time scenarios here coming up as we will start in Woo Pig Suey land as we're going to go to Arkansas. And this is no slouch. Texas Tech won this game last season. So, Coach Pizza, let me know heads or tails, kick or receiver if you want a jersey. I don't know if you submitted one. But this is a who covers. This is a Arkansas 3-point spread. So +3 here for Texas Tech. So on paper, Arkansas should be fine. All right, I don't see Pizza saying anything, so we're just going to base uniforms. If he says heads or tails, kick or receive, tails and kick, state pride. There we go. So that means they will be in their whites. All right, so if Arkansas loses this game, Iowa State automatically goes. So Texas Tech can can really help Coach Schwartz out here tonight. Texas Tech had a promising start to the season, but 3 heartbreakers in a row on BearCave led to their demise. But we'll see what kind of Gamara shows up. Are we going to see the OG Garrett Gamara to Manju Moonman connection, or will we see classic Josh Gamara collapse? Here we go, all on the line for Arkansas. They won the game against Missouri for this chance last week. Can they get it done on home turf? The Hogs have not been good since the KJ Jefferson days when they won the division, but they couldn't make the playoff. Can they do it now? It's going to be tails and kick here for Coach Pizza. Six and 5 Arkansas. Chance to make a bowl game. They start out with a touchdown. That's big, but a quick score from Texas Tech. Oh no. Does this mean Manjube is cooking tonight? 14-7. Arkansas can't score. They get a quick turnover, but they don't score. They're down 10 at halftime at home. They've got to make a play here. Arkansas on the ropes. Nothing doing. Everybody's stalling out left and right. As we enter the fourth quarter, Texas State. Oh, man, Texas Tech, they're up 17, but a quick score from Arky. Woo Pig Suey, and it's a quick touchdown for Texas Tech. It's not looking good here for the Pigs. Iowa State might be celebrating already, but is it over? It's only a 10-point game. We cannot jump in quite yet, folks. And they missed the extra point. They went for a 2-point conversion. Not sure why. Oh, baby, here we go. They've got to get a stop. Can they get a stop? It doesn't look good. 30 seconds left. Can they score? 15, 10, and 5. It's over. Texas Tech gets it done. Arkansas is eliminated. Iowa State is going to the conference championship. Oh, baby. Pizza kills the Pigs for the second year in a row. Garrett Gamara gets it done. So Garrett Gamara goes 18 of 33, 310, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. He ran the ball, lights out. They decided not to give Luke Austin like 40 carries. And Manju Moomin goes 6 for 126. On defense, Hall gets 3 tackles, or 3 TFLs, 10 total tackles, 1 sack for Campbell. No interceptions today. Deflections, none. Fumbles, none. And for the Pigs, they had everything in front of them. Chris Robinson, 23 of 42, 331, and 2 touchdowns. And run the ball. Thomas Bell gets 79 yards, 185 for Whitworth, but it was just not enough here. Merritt had a big day. So did Noel. Interception for Merritt as well. Deflections, they got 4, and no fumbles. So that is a Texas Tech outright victory, folks. Congratulations, Pizza winding out on another win this year. You don't see that too often. So they improve. Oh, it's all about improving, man. You know, year after year, Texas Tech is one of the harder rebuilds. And that's an outright win. Big time ending to the season. As, let me pay this out. This man, a lot of people were jumping on the Texas Tech bandwagon there, and it worked out for you. So now we kind of get almost a victory lap here for Iowa State. They had 2 massive upsets back-to-back, and now they get the benefit of the doubt in the division. But Kansas State is no slouch. They got Hung Wong at running back. So, Coach Schwartz, if you're here, heads or tails, kick or receive. Coach Gronstall, if you're here, let me know, kick or receive if Schwartz isn't. So, this is a 5.5-point favorite for Iowa State. On the road. This is probably going to be the final game we see Gronstall there. He'll probably return to Eastern Michigan next season. No, you don't pick jerseys. That's a Patreon only. Okay, So this is a 5.5-point favorite. They've already clinched the division. I forgot to add into kind of my things here that like Iowa State can get in or a loss from Arkansas, but it's kind of self-explanatory. But Iowa State will face Oklahoma State, who's given them their only loss on the year. So Iowa State still has a chance here to make the playoff. Definitely not over. All right, so Iowa State and Kirk goes Squatch. He is the quarterback. It's been a very up and down season. They've had some offensive changes, and it's been working out for them. As you see here, Oklahoma State awaits, the #1 team in the country. But first, they've got Kansas State in the way. All right, here we go. Heads and kick. I just accidentally went on them, but that's all right. So will they keep it close? Will we see Hung Wong in action? Been asking for it all season. Will we get it? So regardless of this win, Iowa State will be going to a bowl game at the very least. Hung Wong going back and forth. No scores yet. 14-0 for Iowa State. Not looking good for Kansas State. They do add one, though, before halftime. 24-7. It's 17 points. Not looking good for Kansas State here. They've got to get something brewing, and quickly they get one back. It's a 10-point game. Iowa State on the ropes, potentially. It's fourth quarter. Up 10. They add another touchdown. They missed the extra point, though. 16-point game. We saw this a little bit earlier. Can they make a comeback? No, it doesn't look like it. We'll go one play at a time, though. See if they can't do the unthinkable here. And they don't. So Iowa State looks like they have cleaned this up. They've added a field goal. And 33-14 looks to be your final unless we get some garbage time here. And it doesn't look like it. So 33-14. There it is. One more play. So Iowa State gets done. They're 7-5, but they have a chance to go to the college football playoff. Kramer, McKenna. So Kirko Squatch goes 20 of 33, 256, and 2 touchdowns. McCall goes 22 of 75, adds 2 himself. Massey Barmore, SFA guy. On defense, you got Henry. A couple TFLs across the board. No sacks. No interceptions. Kind of a clean defensive battle both ways. 2 fumbles, though. Both recovered. Carl Harper, the true freshman, he's going to be a beast at some point here. 13-29, 198, 2 touchdowns. Hung Wong only got 15 carries. He must have gotten hurt there halfway through, ending his career. A couple great SFA players on this team. Ford Spraggins, the freshman, goes 4 TFLs. He gets a sack as well. Interceptions, they get 1. 2 deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 recovery, and that will do it. So Iowa State gets it done. They win the division. Your Big 12 championship will be Iowa State taking on Oklahoma State next week. Oklahoma State likely playing for a bye. Iowa State playing for their life. So very different feel to this season for Iowa State as they get a cover. Last year they completely choked away their chance. This year they grinded their chance right out. They did not control their own destiny, but they made it happen. That's all you can ask for. Okay. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. We're starting to chip away. My voice hanging in there by a thread. As we now are going to figure out the Pac-12 championship. This is one I've been waiting for. All right, folks. Oregon not ranked. They are the team that has been the heavy favorite in the North Division all season long. But nothing has really come of it for them. They're a 93 overall, for crying out loud. I'd like a top 5 team in the country. But the defense kind of choking it away. They're a 16.5-point favorite. They have to win here and hope for a Boise State loss. So who do you got? Do you have Oregon who is a 16.5-point favorite? Or do you have Oregon State doing another colossal upset? So predictions are out. What will happen here? Remember, if Oregon loses this game, Boise State is headed to the Big 12 championship, or the Pac-12 championship, regardless of their game versus Cal, which is coming up. Oregon has to win this game. So just to recap, we still have the Big 10 coming up. We're figuring out the Pac-12 now. Iowa State won their division, and Tennessee won their division. All right, here we go. Coach Dave, if you're here, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive. We're going over 2 hours now. We've held 10+ viewers the entire time. Thank you guys for tuning in on your Thanksgiving. Glad we can give you guys some content if the NFL games aren't all that good or whatever. Does anybody know, did CeeDee Lamb score a touchdown today? Or is that game even still going? All right, Riser Stadium. All good, Coach Mike. Thanks for coming out. All right, so heads. And kick here for Oregon. First quarter. This would be a massive upset here for Oregon State to ruin the playoff chances of Oregon. They've really struggled this year. Great offense, not a good defense. 10-0 though for the Ducks. 17-0 for the Ducks. It's currently a cover. 24-0 for the Ducks. It's looking like they've done their part. As we're into the fourth quarter, it's 34-0. We'll just sim to the end of the game as Oregon State gets blown out. Oregon will cover, and now it's all up to Boise State. They have to win their game. It's all your fault, Dogwater. Paul Cannon returns a touchdown. So Joshua Dobbs goes 14-21, 180 and 2 touchdowns. Adam Williams goes 31-130, 2 touchdowns as well. Jace Fiker gets 6 catches. Craig Scotland trying to keep his senior season alive, one of the best offensive linemen of all time. 2 TFLs for Reed. No sacks on the day here for Oregon. No interceptions, just clean defense. 1 deflection. Forced fumbles, they get 3. Okay, but you told me about the bet after I already did it. Lance Malone, 11 of 18, 171, 1 touchdown. Like, you just put your voodoo on my bet after I place it. That's no fair. Defense, 3 guys with 10 tackles, 4 TFLs for Holmes. That's actually pretty. If Memphis wins that game, that's actually good for Colorado. That eliminates the AAC. All right, so now we're on to Boise State. Can Coach Doom get it done against Cal and go to the Pac-12 championship against USC? Or will it be Oregon? So if Cal wins, it'll be Oregon headed to the Pac-12 championship against USC, which is probably what you would expect, right? This is a cover, by the way, for Oregon. So whoever put their Bobinos loses them. Sorry. Womp womp. It's alright. It was $5. Relax, Dogwater. Alright, so now we're going to the Pac-12. We're going to the next game. The final game of the regular season. 6-5 Cal versus 5-6 Boise State. California 4.5-point favorites on the road. Can Boise State survive? They had the chance to do it last week and they choked. So who do you got? You got Cal at minus 4.5. Are they going to do it? Or are you a Boise State fan? We're all cheering for Dune in this one. Boise State's one of those programs, much like Texas Tech. Yes, they have a natty a long time ago, but it's a long time since. It's a shell of their former selves. So, Coach Dune, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. 4.5-point favorite for the Golden Bears. And I don't see Dune, so we're going to jump on board with Cal and do kick and receive, or kicking heads and kick. So let's get it done. Only a couple games left after this. All of our divisions are wrapped up. And we just have some good games left. You're not leaving for Purdue, buddy, Nathan. I'm not letting you leave for Purdue. That's a death sentence, bud. Just stick at Rutgers and build them up. Yeah, 4 IRL years ago, pretty much Flame, is when Boise was relevant. Season 4, when they were beating teams like 94-10. I believe Boise is the one that has the biggest victory in SFA history. All right, Boise, you're at home. Everything is in your hand. Surely you won't screw it up. Heads and kick. Boise wants the ball. Oh, no. Come on, Boise. Get it done. 5-6. A chance at history. Win the division. 7-0. Dave waiting in anticipation. They're down 14. Boise, not like this. You had it. Oh, no. They're getting embarrassed. Oh, it's returning to the mean. Decent getting absolutely throttled. 24-0. Not like this. Cal, one of the historically best teams in SFA history, laying an absolute deuce on the blue turf. 34-6. It wasn't even a game. Oh no, 41-6. Oregon will be your Pac-12 North champions, facing USC in a rematch of the Pac-12 championship from last season. No. Division winners probably will not get ranked. Conference champions will, because I have to put you in the top 12 or 14 or whatever it is. So they get a punt return as well. Domination here for California. They'll get to 7 wins. That will likely throw them into a bowl game. Mark Cooper, 15-37, 194 and 2 interceptions. He didn't even have to do anything for them to dominate here tonight. Tough end to the season for Boise State. It was a dream. It was a dream conference schedule after a nightmare non-conference. And they almost got away with it too if it wasn't for that Wazoo game day. Shame for Boise State as Ike Deason goes 10-29, 113, 1 interception or 2 interceptions. Ahmad Sixto, 65 yards. Cole Pepper only 2 catches. Nasty work. And the dream of a Boise State playoff berth goes by the wayside. Maybe next year, folks, as Cal gets it done. So that's a Cal cover, folks. No! Oh no, I lost my players of the game. That's so annoying. I accidentally pressed OK too soon. Now I have to get the boring player of the game. Where is it? This one. Shame, shame. So that's a Cal cover. All right. So let's just take a look here. We've got 3 games left on this BearCave slate. Thank you guys all for joining. But now conference championships are officially set, except for the Big Ten, which will be coming up soon. So we'll go through this after we decide that one. I forgot about that one. But for now, we are going to a game that has had some recent historical relevance. Tulane slated to face Conference USA opponent UTSA for a playoff spot, facing off against LSU, a team not in a position for the playoff. So, Coach Maddox, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive, or Coach Lama, let me know if you're here. So who do you got in this one? LSU has been coming on strong. They are a 6-point favorite in this game. Tulane's starting to get healthy. Remember, they've been missing some of their best players. They're starting to get healthy. Whoopty Tibbs and CC Schuster should be starting to come back here in the next couple of weeks. Battle for the Tiger Rag. So I don't see either of them in chat, so we'll give it a couple of minutes here. But Tulane, definitely a dark horse here in the group of 5. They've had a game day this year. They played well. Remember, the Billy Hines to his brother Hines, the tight end. That's been a great connection this year. So we'll see what happens. It's 6-point favorite for Lama. We got Tulane. Can they do the upset? When they were undefeated, or at least a 1-loss a couple years ago, they lost this game, kind of ruining their playoff hopes, I believe. So can LSU get it done? LSU does have Deshaun Ebers, the $1 million man, back. Yeah, nobody putting their bets down. They're scared of UE's 10 Babanos. All right, here we go. Heads and kick. I do not see Maddox in chat. Death Valley here at dusk. One of the toughest places to play in the country. LSU might have a fringe shot at a playoff hope, maybe, if things fall their way, but 3-0. Definitely would have a chance in the old style with only 6 auto bids, but now there's 10. So 13-7 here at halftime. Close game. Tulane making a case here, only down 13. They might have a chance, but Addie McBuckets, the SFA player, running it down their throats. They're going to have to do something here, and they're not doing it, as now LSU kind of running away with it here, and that's probably going to do it. Tulane getting boat raced, and that's the game. Tulane goes to 9-3. Vogel gets a touchdown. Jelani McCray gets a touchdown. Look at the player stats. Billy Hines, 12 of 30, 207, and a touchdown. Leonard is, so Whoopty Tibbs not back. And neither is CC Schuster. So hopefully they'll be back for the conference championship. Remember, you have 2 weeks to sim, so if you have injuries, you'll likely get 2 weeks down on those. TFLs, a lot of them, but no big-time plays. Interceptions for Quinn Travers, former ECU player. Couple deflections, forced fumble. And for LSU, Lovello Blackley, 17 of 33, 234, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Addie McBuckets, the freshman, 2-star, 144. And Deshaun Ebers, his first game back, gets 5 receptions, 68 yards. 4 TFLs here for Darby, 2 sacks here for Darby as well. He had a great day. Deflections, couple here, and no fumbles. So that will do it here from from Death Valley. Get myself killed for that. Whew. All right, my voice is hanging in there. The kicker is the player of the game, so Tulane doing something right on defense. Wonder if UTSA is scared after watching that, as that is a LSU cover for those of you guys tallying at home. All right, couple of games left. But now the Big Ten division. Who is going to face Minnesota, who just lost to Wisconsin? So potentially, I mean, a playoff spot on the line here if you think that whoever wins this game is going to be favored against an 8-4 Minnesota. You've got Michigan. You've got Ohio State. It is the game. This is a big one, folks. So who do you got? This is going to be a 2-point favorite for Michigan. They have been great on BearCave this season. Ohio State had a rough middle of the year, kind of battling back here. Control their own destiny after a big-time win against Michigan State on BearCave a couple of weeks ago. Ohio State hasn't been relevant in a couple of years. Remember, them and Clemson dominated seasons 8 through, I would say, 13, like a 5-year stretch. Mango is here. He wants tails, and he wants to receive the ball. He trusts the offense. So this is a big-time moment. Come on, guys. Get your betting in. We got one more game after this. It's Florida State and Florida. The battle for the douche canoe or whatever. Jackie Moon and Tribe going at it. Florida still has a chance at a playoff spot. Florida State as well. Coach McNasty chiming in. You gotta get through Charlotte first, dude. They might be a wagon. Charlotte just took down Coastal, so you gotta watch out there, McNasty. All right, here we go. Can Michigan get it done? Remember, we still got Bedlam coming up. And we're actually not too far behind a normal game day schedule. Maybe just a little bit. Rip their dicks off. Twist his dick. Whatever that UFC or UFC video is. Here we go. Michigan up to number 10 in the nation. He wants tails. He wants receive. Getting healthy over there in Michigan. The team up north. Doesn't win the toss. He'll receive anyways. Run the horseshoe. Can the Buckeyes get it done? 3 points here for Michigan. Touchdown for Ohio State. Michigan responds. Like I said, they've had great offense on BearCave this season. 17-10 here in the second quarter. 24-10. Michigan starting to dome. Can Michigan finish the job, or is Ohio State going to hang around? 17-point game. Michigan, they're looking good. Oh, it's a 10-point game. You got to get something. They do. 34-17. Can Ohio State fight back? They do. Oh, and they get the, I don't know why they went for 2, but they did. We're going to go one play at a time. It's a 9-point game. Remember, it can only jump in if it's a 1-score game. This is 9 points. That's not a 2-score game. It's an interception. And that's going to be a Michigan W, it's looking like, as they score a field goal. Remember, we'll only jump in if they can get a touchdown here. It's a quick hitter. Can they get another big-time play? It's not looking good, and that might just do it. There it is. Kneeling down here. Michigan going to survive. They are going to go to the Big Ten Championship for the second year in a row. Remember, they were the number 1 seed last year. After a ridiculous conference championship week, probably wasn't really the number 1 team, but I digress. Mango is back in the championship game. 27-37, 369 for James Love. Finally grown into those starter shoes. He gets a touchdown. Greg Rogers over 100 yards. Jonathan Jones, they have had some injuries at wide receiver this year, but they're still battling. Renner Hornbeak, the former TCU player, playing well. No sacks. Interception goes to David Sims. A couple of deflections. No fumbles. And for Ohio State, Vincent Hoffman, 17-34, 188, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ohio State falls short another year in a row. Those vintage Ohio State offenses might have to get reimagined here if they want to get back into the relevancy. Oh my God, my voice is dying. Mike Harrison had a big day, but Michigan gets it done. Congratulations, Mango. And that is a Michigan cover. Only 3% of you guys were on the Michigan dick. Had a lot of covers here towards the end. That's a Michigan cover. Let me write it down. All right, one game left in this slog of a bear cave. Thanks for chiming in and joining us on Thanksgiving. You can do a lot of stuff on your Thanksgivings. Thanks for joining us. Just want to make sure we have 2 games left. Yes, we do. And we've got Florida State taking on Florida. We've got Jackie Moon taking on Coach Tribe. This is a big-time game because Florida's already in the ACC Championship. They can already play for a playoff game anyways next week against North Carolina, which is a tall task. But a win here could cement them as a top bowl contender even if they lose to UNC. And for Florida, they're playing for their at-large lives here. Auburn won in front of them. Tennessee won. So there's a lot of teams in front. They got to get this win if they want a chance at making the playoff. So 88 all around the Sunshine Showdown. Let's get the line on this game. It's a 3.5-point favorite for Florida. So you riding with the Gators and the freshman Decorian Thunder? Or are you riding with the Seminoles? Having a bounce-back year this year. Still a 3.5-point underdog as they traditionally are a kind of volatile team. Jackie Moon, if you're here, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive. So get those Bobinas going. Our last Bear Cave game of the day. We still got Bedlam coming up here in a little bit. As always, I'll take a tiny break here. Probably re-up on my meds and rest my voice for a couple minutes. And then we still have recruits tonight. And all of these games will be posted as well after game day tonight. VODs will be available tomorrow. Highlights will be available tomorrow as well, as always. Alright, I don't see Jackie Moon, so here we go. Well, Thanksgiving Sunshine Showdown down in the swamp. Florida State already locked in their championship game. Florida hoping for an at-large. So a lot more riding on this game for Florida. But Florida State definitely doesn't want to take a loss because then with a loss to UNC, they're at 5 losses. Then their bowl game gets drastically worse. All right, here we go. All right, heads and kick because I do not see the users here. All right, so Decorian Thunder, they start out with a quick touchdown and a touchdown the other way for Florida State. So back and forth here in the first quarter. Florida State has the ball in plus territory. They score. So Florida on their back foot now, down 14. Oh, boy. Oh, and a quick score for Florida State. Florida State up 21, but Florida gets one back. It's a 94-yard touchdown on the kickoff return, so they're still in this game. Third quarter now, Florida on their back heels. Can they find a way? No, they're down 21. They add one before the fourth quarter, but they've got to find a way. A fumble! Florida has it, and they can't do anything with it. That was the play. And another fumble. Can Florida capitalize on this one? No! 2 give-me turnovers in a row. Florida State begging to get the ball back, and Florida is going to choke it away. They're down 14. We got to see if they can get it back. Remember, we can't jump in unless it's a one-score game, and that's going to do it. Florida had their chances, but Florida State gets it done. Man, FSU was begging to give it away, and they just don't. So Florida, unfortunately, unable to get it done. They'll drop to 9-3. Likely their playoff hopes are over. 12 of 20, 249, 3 touchdowns for Jamie Breckenridge. Travion Burner goes for 232, straight for the dome, 2 touchdowns. Buggy Gumption leads the receiving. Interesting. And on defense, you got Duckett with 11 tackles, 5 TFLs, couple touchdowns here, or sacks, I mean. No interceptions, 3 deflections, fumble for Chad Robinson. He picked it up. And for Florida, you've got DeCorian Thunder. He goes 19-31, 278, and 3 touchdowns. Likely going to be your freshman of the year. He has been incredible. Brandon Wilson, 51 yards. They just couldn't run the ball here. And in defense, Roebuck and Tulip doing their thing. 3 TFLs for the pair. Tulip gets a sack. Interception goes to Chuck Irwin. And then they got the 3 fumbles, I guess. They picked up the 2 in the fourth quarter, but they couldn't score any points off of them. Flame thinking he's going to get at large, man. I don't know. It's going to be a tall task, Flame. I mean, you are the defending champion, but we'll see. We'll see. Having the head-to-head over Georgia Tech might just get you in. Not going to lie. If that overtime game comes back to bite Coach Mike, that's going to be tough. So that is a Florida State outright, I believe, if I'm right. Yeah, Florida State was not favored. So Florida State outright, a bit of an upset there, is we will 71% of you guys, or 29%, I mean, went with FSU. And normally, as customary, we go through all of the next week's games. I can't show you the games quite yet because I do have to sim forward past week 15 because right now week 15 is just FCS games. But we got one game left here. Bing, bong, bang. And let's take a look at how the divisions are shaking out. So a full recap of this Bear Cave today. We'll be back in a couple minutes for Bedlam. But Cincinnati will be facing Charlotte in the American. Tulane faces UTSA. They got it done. Ohio and Central Michigan got it done. Wyoming will face UNLV. And Coastal will face Southern Miss. In the ACC, it's Florida State, UNC. Iowa State against Oklahoma State. Michigan and Minnesota. Oregon and USC. And Tennessee and Oklahoma. That slate will be next week. There will be no watch party for conference championships because now they are all auto bids into the playoff. I don't want to put a game behind a paywall or anything. So we're gonna have 9 BearCave games and game day, whatever that is decided. I'll, like I said, do the poll tomorrow like normal. There isn't gonna be a committee voting here tonight because it's Thanksgiving. I don't want to keep people who it's gonna be like past 11 o'clock their time. Not going to keep them up. So we'll just do the one committee meeting next week. My rankings will be this week again. But yeah, we'll be back in a couple minutes here for Bedlam. Don't go anywhere. Thank you guys for spending your Thanksgiving with us. We saw some great plays across the board. And we'll have full highlights available later tonight for Bear Cave if you missed it as well. And the VODs always are available for you guys as well. So we'll be back for Bedlam, Oklahoma State. It's going to be a good one. Top 5 matchup. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in a couple minutes.